Alright guys, so we are back with another reaction video, and I know there have been too many of these lately, but I told you the reason in the last week as well. I've been traveling abroad and everything, that's why I haven't had the time to film and everything. But yes, from next week onwards we'll back with a regular schedule where we'll do the news shows as well as these ones on the weekends as we do often. So yeah, today we are back with another reaction as I told you, and today we are going to react to Western reporters trying to shame India, trying to defame India and all the stuff they try to do because they kind of hate us, at least the media part. They don't like us very much. So this is a part 2 of the series. If you haven't watched the part 1, then it will be available either in the I button or the I thing that comes up, or at the end of the video in the end screen. So stay tuned for that as well.
Affiliated with the BJP also use
I know this one.
Aurangzeb and his alleged atrocities as a dog whistle to signal their acceptance of hating present-day Indian Muslims.
I would like to say that actually, it's interesting that you people from the United States, when you have so much muck behind your back from the wiping out of the entire race of Native Americans, and you Europeans having wiped out almost more than half of world's population across from Australia in Africa to America, now just putting your neck deep into other people's history and also not being scientific about it actually. For example, you said you estimated 15 temples or a dozen or something like that. Have you done a scientific survey, archaeological survey of every site possible which has already been dug out or not? And this is, can a genocidal, descendant of a genocidal people sit as a judge? Is that moral or fair? Yes, that nation stands on the dead bodies of Native Americans. What right does she have to come here and poke her nose into our history? No, what? Be fair, be fair, be fair, be fair. Is this justice? Is this morality? Is this ethics? In today's density population count is 21 billion people that's been wiped out of the earth by your country.
What has he said that is not correct? First of all, she's trying to lecture us. She's trying to lecture our country about all the Muslims in the country, and they are getting discriminated against and they are getting attacked against and everything. All this rhetoric that gets played in the Western media, because that's what they do. What they do, they find a country, then they find a minority that they can use, and then they exploit that minority to attack the government which is in power. That's why she, at the beginning of the video, she said affiliated with the BJP. That's what she said. Now the thing is, to be a moral police of the world, first you have to be moral yourself. As we know America's history with the wars and all the Native American stuff the guy was telling, obviously the nation stands on the grave of thousands if not millions of Native Americans who got killed when the settlers from the Europe came there and established their colonies. Now, to be fair, it's not like that they were not fighting among each other, the Native Americans. Of course, they were also fighting among each other. And then Europeans came and then they obviously killed them all because they were better at the fighting part, you can say. But of course, to be a moral police, first you have to be good yourself, and no country is good, and certainly America is not. If you think about what they have done in Iraq with 1 million people dead because they like to boom people from the sky up above. So they have a lot of shady stuff behind their back to lecture us. It's not going to work, especially in this day and age.
In terms of things like countering China, I look at the attitude of India on issues like populism and human rights in the country, religious diversity. Boy, I'd be cautious.
Yeah, you be cautious, but not about us, about your own country, my friend.
Damn. I would be cautious about getting too close in terms of seeing them as a natural partner, because I think Modi...
This is who?
India. I think Modi does not see
I like how PBD does this.
The way we do, in terms of what he sees for the future. That's a Hindu country. It's not a multi-ethnic country for him, I think.
To say that India is a Hindu country. Of course, the majority of the population is Hindu, but we have more Muslims than the whole Pakistan in India. Think about this. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have Hindus, we have Jains, we have what else there? Everything. Anything. We have Jews as well in some minority, as well as other people. We have Sikhs also. So we have a lot of people, lot of different ethnicities and everything. And to say that we are a Hindu-centric country, so to speak, or just the country is only focused on the Hindu people, if that was the case, BJP wouldn't win any elections anyway, or Narendra Modi, or Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, so to speak. So this guy is just talking ass, I guess. But yeah, let's see what he says next.
And that's going to cause, if you look at the history of violence, ethnic and religious violence in India, I would not have high hopes about stability in that country over the long term.
These people need to have a mirror in the house. All these Americans, Western reporters, get a huge mirror in your house, okay? and think about what your country has done before telling others what they have done wrong. You have done so much shit, not just within your country but around your country as well, in different countries and around the globe as well. So you have done so much shit to lecture us about anything, honestly, when it comes to geopolitics. It just you're trying to, what are you doing? What are you doing, honestly? I don't have words for this. This is just absolute hypocrisy, if that's the perfect word actually. They are hypocrites of the highest order. Nobody does it better than them when it comes to hypocrisy. This is just shit. And he's talking about, okay, we shouldn't get close to them. Americans, if you're listening, if anyone who thinks America has been our friend for long, they haven't been actually. They have supported Pakistan for long when it comes to all the Kargil wars and everything back when, even China as well. So they have been supporting the countries who were obviously in opposing us, and that's all they have done. And then to say, oh my God, we shouldn't be friends. Of course, because you haven't been friends with us for long, at least till Donald Trump, honestly. Donald Trump actually improved a lot of that. And then obviously Joe Biden is back, so they are back to their own games and everything. But India would be a good number one, by the way. Unlike America, India would be a good number one. Whenever we'll get there, will be a good number one. And he's failing to understand that, unlike the host of the show, who knows what's what.
Really? I'm not talking about revolution. I'm just talking about stuff the government does where Americans in Congress and elsewhere cringe and say, wow, we don't want to be in bed with those people.
Yeah, so be bed with Pakistan. Be in bed with China, Why not? Because you have been. For the longest time in your history, you have been. Sure, support Taliban for sake. I know he's sitting in a podcast studio and everything, but he doesn't know his shit. He's just spewing what the people who haven't even been to the country say about India, basically. The rhetoric about the country, which I don't even think it was 2-30 years back, but that's what they're trying to, still put it on us. It's just not working.
If the symbolism of building a mandir over a mosque wasn't clear enough, Modi's visit to Ayodhya coincides with his crackdown on Muslim-majority Kashmir and serves as an affirmation that he sees India as a nation that serves Hindus first.
Okay, this Sikh person or whoever that was, first of all, let me be very clear here. If you go to Kashmir, if you go to the Indian controlled Kashmir, not the POK obviously, if you go to the Indian controlled Kashmir, ask them which country they want to be part of. Obviously some of them are radicalized, they will say they want their own thing and everything, sure. But after that, if you give them a choice, then they would say India, because India is by far a better country to be a part of. And they have been part of us anyway, so it's not even, I'm not going there in geography sense, or Kashmir is ours, that's a fact. But if you even ask the people who have been radicalized a bit over the years, even they will know in their heart that which country they want to be part of. So it just, again, absolute nonsense.
Why has the Biden administration been so reluctant to criticize Modi's government on human rights? What will it take? How much does the Modi...
This is, by the way, one of the senators, I believe, in the US parliament. She's Ilhan Omar. And I don't know what she is. She's basically a joke when it comes to all these things, because she always plays that card, because I do follow US politics as well. And she plays the minority card every single time she can play the minority card. She's like, oh my God, okay, I will not care about the Muslims in America, but I will care about the Muslims around the world, and then I will use those Muslims as a political play to gain sympathy, to gain popularity, basically, because she is actually much famous outside US as well because of these issues, because of especially on the Israel and Gaza situation as well. But this is, I think, before that.
The administration have to criminalize the act of being Muslim in India for us to say something. And I ask you again, what will it take for us to outwardly criticize the actions
okay? Name them. You're talking about Prime Minister Modi. He has taken some actions which basically says that he hates Muslims and everything, all of that. Okay, so say the actions. Don't just be so vague. Try to just gain political points. Say the actions, because you won't be able to.
The Modi administration is taking against its Muslim minorities in India.
First of all, it's not even a real minority if you think about it, okay? As I just said, we have more Muslims in India than in Pakistan, and they are very happy to be here. If you ask them, they know in their heart that they are being better served here in India compared to, let's say, Pakistan or even Bangladesh, so to speak. So it's just a political play, honestly, to gain some points, to gain some. Because whenever you mention India, you will get a lot of press. You will get press in this country as well as outside as well. We are huge players in the geopolitical world, and that's what she's doing, just to get her name in the headlines.
People don't know this, but despite Muslims being the minority in India, a significant minority, it's the second largest Muslim population in the entire world. So this affects so many people, in addition to what Modi is doing in Kashmir, where they're still under lockdown, and he's basically doing apartheid in slow motion in that region of the country.
Apartheid in slow motion. You know what apartheid means? Does she know what it means? It means that what Israel also get accused of, by the way, is that you're trying to differentiate people where they live based on their race or their religion, basically. Like basically what she's saying, that what Modi is trying to do is that he's trying to get Muslims in one corner, and not in metaphorically speaking, but actually physically speaking. So let's say there's a town, and then one side of the town only be Muslims and the other side would be only Hindus or the other religions as well. And that's what she's accusing us of. That's what these people lack. They lack actual experience. Go to the Kashmir border or any of the outer edges, you will find Muslims, you will find Hindus living together, because they have lived together for so many years. So to make such claim that we are doing apartheid in slow motion, everything, I mean, Kashmir is still is the only majority state in India which has majority Muslim population. So where is the apartheid? It's not. And the people are actually happy to live there. They don't want to go across the border. They want to stay here.
Since Modi came to power, India has grown more hostile to minority groups. Among a vocal minority, there's been a resurgence in religious nationalism, specifically Hindu nationalism. The idea that India is a Hindu nation, which completely goes against secularism, which is enshrined in the Indian constitution.
I think I have made this point clear in the last video we did about this as well. For secularism to work, there has to be a majority which is tolerant towards other religions. So there is the idea about secularism that, okay, everyone is equally represented and everything. It's not the case actually. For secularism to work, there has to be a majority, and the majority which is tolerant towards other races, other religions, and Hindus are that. They are tolerant towards other races. That's why this country is secular, but it's obviously Hindu-centric, because without us, this won't be a secular country. I don't know why. If you look at America, think about America, about 70% of the people are Catholics there, Christians there, obviously. Now let's say if they decide they don't want a secular country, because America as well, obviously it's a republic and everything, but it's a secular country, at least on paper, right? Obviously it's based on the Judeo-Christian values when the founders founded their country, obviously, but it is secular in this day and age. And that is because the Christian community there, at least most of it is tolerant towards other races, other people. That's why it's secular. So it's just a myth.
And given 68 years later, your two countries still can't sort this problem out on their own, why not have outside involvement? You clearly are not able to do it on your own.
Because the fundamental problem
in
India,
nuclear powers.
I hate this guy, by the way. Not Shashi Tharoor, actually. Because Shashi Tharoor is actually very smart. He knows how to put his side. I'm talking about the other guy. His name is, I think, he used to work for Al Jazeera, the Qatari-founded extremist news group, so to speak. His name is Mehendi Hassan or something like that, I believe. But he always spews garbage, by the way. So let's see what he says now.
The fundamental problem in the India-Pakistan relationship is not Kashmir. It is the nature of the Pakistani state.
You think it's not Kashmir.
They think it's the nature of the Pakistan as a state, as a country. Because their goal is to destroy us. Not even to say that, okay, we want Pakistan to grow and everything. No. Let's leave all of that. Let's make sure Pakistan still stays poor, but we have to destroy India on the other hand, which is, you guys have been trying to do that for how many years now, 70 years or something, still failed so many times. And that's what Shashi is saying, which is great to him, by the way, because despite being a Congress MP or the Congress minister, he's actually very nationalist in that sense, that he always puts India the way it is in good light. And he's doing that now. Let's see what he says next.
They say it is Kashmir.
Well, so why should I do something I don't believe in? I'm telling you it's not Kashmir. I'm telling you it's got to do.
So how does this end? How does this end, Shashi?
It only ends when Pakistan stops being the kind of state it is, where the military, to justify its disproportionate share of its own country's assets, budget and GDP,
That is true.
foments hostility on both sides of its borders, both in India and in Afghanistan, to justify its disproportionate
We just talked about the Indian Army's fomenting of hostilities. How many people, innocent people, have been killed in Kashmir and framed as military?
Unfortunately, these tragedies have occurred because the Indian security forces have been deployed to protect against terrorism and militancy coming from the...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that the day Pakistan stop being a hostile state, there will be instant peace. Instant. There will be a lot of growth in Pakistan as well, because they will use their GDP to actually, educate their people, build infrastructure and everything. This instead of just throwing everything at the military and trying to get a lot of defense contracts, a lot of defense infrastructure, weapons and everything. Because that's what they do. Whenever they make money, they take loans. They take loans to get weapons to destroy India. That's their goal. They don't think about, okay, how can we grow Pakistan? How can we develop Pakistan? No. They just want to destroy India. And and I'm not talking about the people, because I've met so many people from Pakistan as well. It's not always their people, okay? It's just their government, which is basically military, because whoever is in power, the military is actually in power. And obviously as a military, because they are in power, they shouldn't be. Their goal is obviously to fund themselves, because there's a lot of corruption as well. So as long as that happens, the Kashmir issue and the Pakistan issue, and it's not just with us, they have a problem with the Afghanistan border as well as us. So it's just not us, it's just them. If they focus on themselves, this would be over. And that's what Shashi Tharoor was trying to say. And all these Western people, they don't understand this basic thing. The day they will understand that what Pakistan is, or how Pakistan is run, they will know what's what. Hopefully they will learn sooner, as this is the end of the video, by the way. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And as I told you, from next week we'll begin our daily, weekly news shows and everything, as well as some of these reaction videos as well. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you next week.